Your leash is probably your most important piece of equipment because it connects you to your dog. So what your dog is feeling is tension or lack of tension when they're on this leash. We know that dogs are concerned, under restraint, when they feel like they can't get away, right? So by putting them on a leash, we're causing that. We want to be clear that really most of the time the leash is going to have slack in it, and in the beginning we're going to manage that. Ultimately we'll teach the dog to walk with slack in the leash. But when tension shows up, we want the dog to understand it's meaningful and to respond in the way that we've taught them what's going to happen. So think about walking your dog on your left side or right side. If your dog is walking on your right, your left hand will be your primary leash hand. If your dog is walking on the left, your left hand will be the primary leash hand. This leaves the hand closer to the dog, available to work with the dog, to feed the dog, also to go short on the leash, which is where we're getting. You're gonna hold your handle either over your wrist, over your thumb, or over your fingers, and you're gonna fold your fingers over. This is the first point of connection. You will then, I'm gonna go for over the wrist, grab, if my dog is going to have 6 feet of leash, their entire leash offered to them, I'm gonna hold the end, and I'm gonna follow behind my dog to keep slack in the leash, right? I might do this if my dog needs to poop. I might do this if my dog is meeting another dog. In both instances, when that's happening, dogs are gonna do better if there's a lot of slack in the leash. My next hold might be gathering 1/3 and giving the dog access to the other 2/3. In which case, I'm gonna pick up slack, grab it, fold it, and now I'm gonna hold it. Leather thin leashes are nice because I can fully close my hand. This hand comes here, it doesn't move. This means when I use my leash, I'm using my whole body and I'm not just using my arm. If this hand wants something to do while you're just moving along, it can absolutely collect, like hold on to slack, but it wants to leave slack too. And you wanna avoid a lot of power, gear shifting with this hand on the leash. This hand is just there, it's resting. If I wanna go a little bit shorter, I'm gonna go half and half. Same deal, I reach to my point, I collect, I grab, I bring it in. Now my dog has less leash, and this also is gonna be impacted by the height of my dog, but I want my dog to walk with slack in the leash, and I'm gonna sort of, through training, address that as well. But if we need to move somewhere, I'm gonna go very short on my leash, so there's only, an inch or two, and I'm just gonna move my dog. At that point, I take over all the leash and I just say we're going. This is the point I want your dogs to feel good about. When you put pressure on them and put tension on the leash, it doesn't mean the world is falling apart, it just means we're gonna hustle. When you get to that point you're headed, you're gonna release. So go short on your leash and just move your dog. You can use tons of praise, be really happy about it. If your dog is willing to walk after they've sort of walked a couple steps, throw a party and feed them a treat. If your dog is not willing to move, when you put that pressure on them, they are like, absolutely not, and they get heavy and stiff. You're gonna wanna approach this a little bit differently. You're still gonna really introduce that pressure, so I want them to feel like they're being pulled, but you are gonna put a treat at their nose, and as you're pulling, you are luring. You might only be able to walk half a step. If they will go with you, feed them. Overhandling leads to dogs having opinions about being overhandled. So a lot of dogs will simply dig in and say, this is not happening, I'm not into this, because of previous handling. So we just wanna make it better, we wanna make it sweet. We want dogs to feel like this is no big deal.